There's currently tension in ASO Villa, Nigeria's seat of power in Abuja, the country's capital, as a fresh power tussle between President Muhammadu Buhari's personal assistant and private secretary Sabiu Tunde Yusuf and his wife Aisha, the First Lady, gathers dust. According to findings by Sahara reporters, trouble started on Monday when Yusuf returned from a private trip to Lagos where he had journeyed to alongside 5 women from Daura, Kano and Abuja to spend the weekend. Upon his return to the villa, he was asked by President Buhari's aide-de-camp, Mohammed Lawal Abubakar, Chief Personal Security Officer Abdul Karim Dauda, to self-isolate in order to protect the president and the entire state house staff since he had earlier met with recent contacts of late former group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mekanti Baru, who passed away recently from coronavirus-related complications. Sabiu Tunde Yusuf, President Buhari and Aisha Buhari, but rather than heed the advice of the men by embarking on a 14-day self-isolation, Yusuf, one of the most powerful and influential individuals around President Buhari, flatly refused and pushed his way into the villa. Worried that his presence could expose them to danger, the first family intervened in the matter on Thursday, but rather than a solution being arrived at, things quickly spilled out of control after the security attached to the First Lady, Aisha Buhari, moved in and had Yusuf removed from the presidential villa. Feeling slighted by that incident, the young man, said to be in his early 30s, connived with Buhari's chief security officer, Idris Kasim, to have the Federal Capital Territory Commissioner of Police, Bala Siroma, arrest the First Lady's ADC, Usman Shugaba, escort commander and other policemen attached to the First Lady. Sahara reporters reliably gathered that all the arrested security attached to the First Lady are still in police cell on the orders of the CSOs to the President and Yusuf. A source in the villa who confirmed the development to Sahara reporters said since the death of late Chief of Staff to President Buhari Abakari, Yusuf had almost become the de facto head of state, calling the shots in Asu Villa. The ADC and escort commander of the First Lady were unlawfully detained by the FCT Commissioner of Police under the instructions of the Chief Security Officer to the President, Mr. Idris Kasim and Yusuf. Yusuf, in a flagrant disregard of the Quarantine Act signed by the President, which prohibited interstate travels and in clear violation of the NCDC protocols and guidelines, traveled to Lagos and had seen visitors of more than 15 people every day against the advice of people he's working with. After his refusal to heed the call by the president's security men, on Thursday evening, the First family got involved and insisted that he goes on self-isolation, and again for the second time, he refused. The First family recalled to him when one of the daughters of the president returned from school in London and had to undergo 14 days isolation. They said if she could do that, why couldn't he do the same? When the situation was getting out of hand, the security attached to the First Lady had to intervene peacefully. Yusuf left the State House only for him and the president's CSO to give directives to the FCT Police Commissioner to arrest the First Lady's ADC, escort commander and other policemen attached to the First family. The protocols of the First Lady are still in police detention. Regarded as one of the wealthiest young men in Nigeria today, Yusuf, until his appointment by President Buhari, was said to be surviving on proceeds made from the sale of coal cars in his native Daura, a small community in Katsina State in the northern part of the country. He is said to have gotten the name Tunde after being likened to late Tunde Idiagon, Buhari's second in command during his military regime in the early 1980s, who was known to be powerful and strategic. During Buhari's 77th birthday in December 2019, Yusuf is said to have won a Patek Philippe leather wristwatch valued at 99,000 $995, which is about 36 million naira. Presidency sources said that the young man had amassed so much wealth in a short space of time that he can almost afford anything money can buy these days, despite not from a wealthy background or having any known work history apart from serving in Buhari's government. Despite his glaring excesses and abuse for laid-down procedures, President Buhari has refrained from calling Yusuf to order, it was gathered. Interestingly, it is not the first time that individuals in the presidency would be flexing muscles against the First Lady and her family. In December 2019, for instance, Mrs. Aisha Buhari accused senior special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Gabra Shehu, as well as Mama Daura, a nephew and close ally of her husband, of working against the First family. She said that while Daura had continued to give a presidential directive without Buhari's knowledge, Shehu had switched his loyalty from her husband to some cabal within the presidency. In a strong-worded statement, Mrs. Buhari disclosed how Shehu had contributed to soiling her name. She said at the time, as spokesperson for the president, he has the onerous responsibility of managing the image of the president and all the good works that he is executing in the country. Rather than face this responsibility squarely, he has shifted his loyalty from the president to others who have no stake in the compact that the president signed with Nigerians on May 29, 2015 and 2019. To make matters worse, Mr. Shehu has presented himself to these people as a willing to and executioner of their antics from the corridors of power, even to the level of interfering with the family affairs of the president. This should not be so. The blatant meddling of the affairs of a first lady of a country is a continuation of the prodigal actions of those that he serves. Based on Garba Shewu's misguided sense of loyalty and inability to stay true and loyal to one person or group, it has become apparent that all trust has broken down between him and my family due to the many embarrassments he has caused the presidency and the first family. Okay, now, who is this Buhari that is there now? Because Nnamdi Kanu has been saying Buhari is not the one in charge, because everybody seems to be disobeying him anyhow. Everybody disobeys him anyhow. That two things, something is wrong. Something is really wrong in all ramifications, and that is just what we can say. Everything is just wrong. Now, this small boy now, again, we are hearing every 2 to 3 months, you must hear somebody that is, want to flex power on in that presidency. Okay, this is the guy now, because now, there was a time we learned that even the new chief of staff is not even the person that is close to Buhari, that there's somebody who is the real de facto president, not even Gambari that they are talking about, and they made mention of this boy, and now it's coming out gradually. Of course, you've seen the background of this whole thing, the background of the whole story, how the boy came in and all of that. So that is just what we are saying. I know in some days to come now we are going to be hearing a lot of things, but as it stands now, the security people of the president's wife, Aisha Buhari, now they are in detention unlawfully, according to what Sarah Reporters is letting us know. Well, someone says if this write-up is true, then Mr. President is not in charge of ASO Rock affairs. Now today, this is highly unbelievable. Worse things have happened before now. Someone says all shows and points out that ASO Rock is empty. One president whose family matter has become a national affair. Even the Bible strongly advised that a man who cannot rule his home should not be given any leadership in the church council. Mr. President can be pardoned on the ground of age, and that is why we suggested one term for him, after which he should retire peacefully. Here we are today. Which one do we settle first now? Family, food, or the national economy? Okay, plenty wahala. Any man who can't rule over his own house can't control a community, not to talk of a country. Well, I am not surprised because she was first humiliated and degraded by the same person who's supposed to protect her and her dignity by reducing her to just bedroom and kitchen. Refusal to recognize her as Nigeria First Lady is a big mistake her husband made. It will be difficult for her to be regarded because she lacks official recognition as Nigeria First Lady. So she should just endure whatever insult and disrespect she gets because it was her husband making. That is not even the issue. The issue is that the man is he's not in charge. He's not in charge. We can see it, body language, they used to tell us body language, with his body language and everything. You should know what has been happening. Okay, she better bow out now because her husband is no longer there. Whenever the leadership of a home is left for nobody, nobody is held responsible for the lapses in the family. A replica of I am for everybody, I am for nobody. Another says there that he should go since his oga Boo Boo is late now. What is she still doing at ASO Rock? Oh, that's what people are telling Aisha Buhari. Very soon, you guys will start hallucinating and the truth of the whole matter will be unveiled. Nnamdi Kanu's prediction is becoming real. It seems Buhari is no more. They only improvised another man from Chad to be acting in the presidential capacity as prescribed by Nnamdi Kanu. Oh my goodness. So guys, let us hear your opinion. What do you think? Leave your comment below with all of these things happening here. Thank you.